one of your spreadsheets to go off of. Now,
For
is that like a
sure.
good example to go off of comparing to eBay?
Yeah, I think somebody was just asking me, they were wanting to buy the list that I have of direct buyers, and they just wanted an example sheet of kind of some of
Oh,
the prices that they would see from the people on my list. So just to kind of get an idea
okay, okay.
of what I think.
All right.
So
Yeah, because I know that real list that you're talking about is like the big boy list. Like that was definitely just like an example, right?
yeah, yep. I usually just give out an example. I mean, I have to blank out the contact information, but it just gives people an idea. And it just depends on who you're selling to. Like, I don't want to sell my list to somebody that might
Yeah.
have a similar contact or might be only getting $10 less. But even $10 less, I mean, if you're moving $500, if you're moving not $500, but if you're moving 50 phones a month at $10 each, that's still $500 extra month profit.
Hey, believe me, when I'm telling you about the Oreos and they're only making like $6-7, believe me, I know volume.
Well, it's all volume, but that's the thing is like, so one of the other things, like just some of the buyers that I have about my list, I guess we could chat about this for a second since you brought it up. But like one of the big perks that I get is, so a lot of people want to do wire transfers when it comes to direct buyers. And I mean, that's all fine and dandy and everything. But me personally, I'm trying to build my real estate business and I'm trying to get legitimate income on paper. And when
Yeah.
you've got a bunch of wire transfers coming in and out of your bank, even if you keep a really good cash log on what you paid and your profits, it's just the banks really aren't that familiar with this type of business style, especially if you're in a smaller town like myself.
Yeah.
So when I first started, selling directly and started doing bigger and bigger volume, my bank saw like two wire transfers come in, one for like 20K, the other one for like 45K. And they just like freaked out and it was a big episode. Then I got a couple more and then they closed my account. So
Oh my God.
yeah, so I mean, I got all my money and everything, but they shut my bank account down. And naturally, being an online entrepreneur, all of my payments, pretty much everything, come out of my bank. So, I've got my energy bill, I've got my internet bill, I've got my house payment, I've got my other rental payments, it pretty much ruined everything. I mean, it pretty much, it kind of like just messed up my whole focus and just my organization for probably the next month and a half, just figuring out everything that was linked to that account, everything on auto pay, my gym membership, my Netflix membership, just everything you could think of, all of the stuff for the online business, my ClickFunnels account, Zoom, I mean, just everything that I use. And it really messed it up for me. And so after that, what I personally do now is I only send invoices over PayPal because one, we're protected on both sides. But two, when you start to do volume like I do, like I just did a $20,000 invoice a couple days ago, and my buyer obviously knows that PayPal charges a 3% fee. So what my buyers will do for me is, if you have a $20,000 invoice times figure 3%,
Yeah.
that's $600. That's a $600 fee. That's a lot. What my buyers will actually do is they'll split that fee with me. So at the end of the invoice, they always tell me to add 1.5% onto the total invoice. That way they're splitting the PayPal fee with me. And then on top of that, my buyers also paid me $100 for shipping. And what that allowed me to do is this package that I shipped out, I insured it for $18,000. And I also sent it registered mail. What registered mail is when you send a package with registered mail, everyone and anyone that comes into contact with that package has to actually sign off on it. So it's like signature mail, but to the extreme. So when one postal man takes it from one office to the next or exchanges it, everyone has to sign. So no matter where that package is going, it's always accounted for.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so that's basically just some of the perks that you can get off my list. I mean, you're gonna get better prices than you're gonna get from Supreme, Atlas, or anybody like that. And then on top of all of that, you are going to get, the percentages back on PayPal, so you can actually do legitimate business through PayPal. You don't have to do these sketchy wire transfers and send a bunch of phones up front. So I'm basically only losing 1.5%, which really, it doesn't really make a big difference to me because I'm also getting free shipping and I'm insuring the package. I would much rather lose like $100 and have my package insured and get my shipping paid for rather than worry about $100 or $200 on a $20,000 or $30,000 invoice. So that's just some of the perks that you get from the buyers on my list, and then obviously they pay pretty high prices.
I mean, honestly, from what you're insane. That's honestly cutting out the 10% that you would get from eBay, pretty much. So,
Well, yeah, you don't miss. I mean, eBay, yeah, you cut that out completely. So,
oh my God, that's like a way big difference.
oh yeah, yep. So, but some people like they'll talk about wire transfers and you pay like zero fees, but at the same time you risk having your bank account get shut down, and then two, it's a little harder to prove income on taxes. It just gets a little bit of messy. Where what's nice is if you have PayPal at the end of the year, PayPal will actually issue you a 1099. So that's extremely easy. When you go to a bank for a loan, you print off your last 2 years of PayPal 1099s and just give them to them. Banks recognize a 1099. If they see you're getting a 1099, you're pretty legitimate. So that's a good thing. But anyways, I just personally think just all the benefits of the people that are on my list, it's better to do it through PayPal rather than wires, just because since I'm only getting charged 1.5% in fees and I'm getting free shipping, I'm probably only losing $50 to $100 per order, because the guys that want to do the wire transfers, their prices might be $5 to $10 higher a unit than some of the other ones that I work with, but they won't offer me free shipping, and then they don't want to, give me any extra on top of the invoice, where these people do. So it ends up being the same anyways, and I don't have to risk having my bank account shut down. So.
Right.
But yeah, so that kind of covers the whole direct buyers thing as far as what goes, on that list, kind of just some of the benefits you get. So
Sounds good to me.
for sure. But that being said, we'll probably kind of get going here. Tonight, what I wanted to talk about is I want to try and help everybody get more phones this week. So I kind of want to go around in the group and just see where everybody's at for sales and just, what are people struggling with. So Jonathan, I don't know if you want to go first. What are your sales at right now, and what are you struggling with?
My sales at right now, to be honest, are only at 1,000. Nothing too crazy right now on eBay. Sure. And honestly, this week was not that great because I had just so many people just not even showing up like that. Like we set up a date, but then the weather was terrible this week. It was like a tsunami out here.
Oh, so sure.
Then no one wants to show up in the rain. I literally missed out. It was going to be a great deal for an iPhone X, ex-military person. And they showed up twice to a place that I couldn't show up because weather conditions and my job. So I lost that deal. And then I have the sketchy people on Facebook. Like I told you, they contacted like 3 of my ads. We agreed to the $400 price for XR. I believe it was XS, not XS Max, just a regular XS. And person never wants to show up in a public place. They want me to go to their house. So I'm like, I can't do it.
Sure.
So that was my week, honestly, going back and forth. And then I made sure to put the plan in place where you said at all times we need 20 ads on Craigslist. And that's actually working a lot better for me. Like Craigslist, I told you last week, I have no traffic. Now I'm actually getting some good traffic from Craigslist.
So Craigslist is starting to pay off for you then?
Somewhat. Nothing crazy because I'm not doing any the paid ones. But what I'm doing is, since I used to go sourcing for books in different areas around where I live in Massachusetts, I realized pretty much I know all the locations that I'm able to travel to that are like 30, 40 minutes away. So then I've been posting ads in those areas.
Sure.
So now I'm like literally minimum at all times will be 20 ads, and then I'll be scaling up with the numbers that you said with the demo phones and stuff.
Yep.
So that'll be what I'll be doing in the next weeks.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, anything that you're like struggling with though, I mean, it sounds like you applied what I said last week. Like I said, the biggest thing for anybody out there that's struggling with ads is make sure that you are applying whatever advertising platform works good in your area. If you don't try every advertising platform, you won't know what's really good out there.
Oh, I did notice something though. I know people are having trouble with Facebook, and Facebook doesn't want you to put ads to buy phones, right?
Right.
So today they flagged one of my ads, and I was like, what the hell? I might as well try it anyways. I told Facebook, hey, listen, I'm providing a service to have people trading their phones for cash, and they approved it, and now the ad's live and working. So I'm like, I guess that worked. In case anyone wants to try that. I mean, it worked for me, so I don't know. But that worked for Facebook. But
Sure.
right now, I'm only keeping 5 ads on Facebook because I could have swore you said something about you're not doing so many ads on Facebook. You only post in the groups. And honestly, sometimes I'm having trouble with eBay. This is honestly why I want to start building like the little mini private buyers. Nothing like on the crazy scale yet. But
Sure.
like I'm trying to word it a certain way on eBay where I don't get banned. Like the next time someone buys Baddie phones, I'm like, hey, do you buy these type of phones all the time? Would you like to exchange contact information so I can let you know of more phones of this sort so I could contact you direct? But I feel like I want to be in the guideline where eBay doesn't ban me.
Sure.
So I want to touch base on that. And sometimes I'm having issues with eBay not showing any information of what I put in. Like I'll put in like, Apple iPhone XR 256 gigabyte, and like Atlas has it on their list, online has it, but then eBay won't have any listings that's sold or anything of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even find the actual phone that this person says they have. And it's not like it doesn't exist. It exists, but eBay won't have it.
Any kind of example you could give me so I can
Yeah. So this week, this person said they had an XR 256 gigabyte. And then I'm like, okay, 256 gigabyte. It's probably locked to finance because literally all people this week were just mostly all finance phones, all locked, right? So I was just appraising them as Baddie SN. But this XR 256 gigabyte will not pop up on eBay, like at all. And I'm like going in circles. I'm like going through.
Are you on a laptop right now?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop. Well, the thing is, I've been appraising from my phone, so I'm wondering if that's an
Okay,
issue.
so I'm just gonna pull this up right now if everybody doesn't mind. I want to just share my screen just to make sure because, hey, appraisals are one of the basics, but it's just one of those things where sometimes it gets the best of us. So the best thing to do if you want to find something and it's not coming up, maybe leave out the carrier and just type it in like this, iPhone XR 256 gigabyte.
I just started doing that.
Another thing that I have noticed is that when you are on a cell phone, for anybody out there that's watching this and you're using your eBay app, sometimes the eBay app is kind of problematic. For some reason, it will not pull up all the results that you'll get on like a desktop. So like right now, obviously, let's just do iPhone XR 256 gig Baddie SN. Let's just see what comes up. So as you can see, they're all over. I mean, we've got here for AT&T, Baddie SN. That's a Face ID not working, so I wouldn't use that one. But here's one. XR 256 Verizon, Baddie SN, Mint, XR 256 Finance, Baddie SN. Another one, XR 256 AT&T, Baddie SN. This one's new sealed, parts only. So you can see they're going. I mean, they're going for money. You can see that. So.
Like you see how you're seeing all of these on the mobile app. I would see maybe one or two of those I would probably see. And it's so true. I'm noticing that the mobile app is really not that good to use.
Yeah, the mobile app, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but that's just the way that it is. I think it's because there's been a lot of updates with iOS and just the new phones coming out, and I don't think that eBay has been properly maintaining the app as far as updates. So that might be one of the things. But I hope that helps with kind of the stuff you've been dealing with, Jonathan. I want to ask somebody else here that's on in the chat what the skills are and see if we can help them out. So, Lori, are you with us? I want to see if Lori's got a microphone or if she's here. Or how about our Shock? Are you here at all?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Have you got back into it yet?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm making a little bit of money this week.
That's good.
Last week, really. I made probably about $2,500 this week.
For sure. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but I'm busy with work. I just got a job here too, so I'm busy with that and trying to get the house ready.
Are you done with school yet then?
Yeah, I graduated.
Oh yeah. What for again?
Supply chain logistics.
Nice. That's awesome. For anybody that doesn't know, our Shock's in the group. Used to be a college student. Now he's graduated, so woohoo for that. That's awesome. Cool. I don't know, anything that you're struggling with phone flipping? Because I know you've been out of it for a while, so I know sometimes, obviously, just getting out of things and not being in the loop, you can get, behind on stuff. Anything that you're noticing that's different, or anything you kind of want to talk about or get help with?
There's a lot more competition in Los Angeles than Arkansas.
Oh, that's right. You moved, didn't you?
Yeah, I moved to Los Angeles, so
Sure.
dealing with that right now.
So there's a lot more competition, but you said you just made like $2,500 last week. So let me ask, a lot more competition, but is there a lot more phones in Los Angeles? Because there's a lot of people that I know that flip phones in LA, and they do really, really, really well with it.
So far, I'm just really getting into it. I probably post like 2 or 3 ads a week. So.
But you made $2,500 last week with a couple ads.
Yeah.
So
I think of it that way, but I was making more in Arkansas. So.
Right. With just a couple ads a week in Arkansas?
No, I was posting more over there, but Facebook Marketplace and groups are doing way better over there.
Interesting. I see what you're saying.
Groups are doing not so good here. Marketplace is not doing too good. So right now I'm posting about 10 ads on Craigslist to see how that goes.
Oh, yeah. So Craigslist in Los Angeles is a bigger hit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I what is it called when you I promoted my page on Facebook, and I reached like 25,000 people. And I did not get one single call.
Damn.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, LA's a big area too, so maybe as you start to spread, more awareness in LA, you might start to see that business pick up. I know there's a lot of people though that are, basically just buying phones. There's a lot of direct buyers in Los Angeles too. I'm sure you're aware of that. Yeah. So that's the other thing but more competition, guys, just something to think about. More competition means that there's more market for something, If there wasn't any competition, then that means that there wouldn't be much of a market for anything. So. Yeah, I'm just struggling just because I got so much to do, the house and work. I hear you, man. Just for a little motivation, inspiration for everybody, being an entrepreneur, I know, there's people out there that here in my garage with this brand new Lamborghini, it's not always about the easy life that all of these entrepreneurs and, including sometimes myself, just some of the posts I post, maybe I make everything look like it's easy, but being an entrepreneur, it's not always that easy, guys. It's not always about working 5 hours a week and having a Lamborghini in your garage and a bookshelf. There's a big grind to being an entrepreneur too. Sometimes what it means is being an entrepreneur, sometimes it means working 80 hours a week so that someday you only have to work 20. Where the rest of the population, they might be working 40 or 60 hours a week, but they're building somebody else's dream. And then at the end of that, 40-year course, working 40 hours a week, they've got nothing at the end besides, Social Security, which may not even be here. So if you're stressed out, man, just keep grinding, just keep doing it. I've totally been there. I remember when I first moved into like my first house, this was like before phone flipping. This was like back in, I don't know, this was quite a while ago. But when I got my first place, I was working full time. I was working like, I don't know, like probably 8 to 12 hour days, just depending on the day. And then I would come home and I was doing like, I was doing online business stuff. Wasn't phone flipping, but I was just kind of trying to get a feel for stuff. This is back when I was like 17 years old. I was pretty young, but it was just a constant grind, a constant grind to find something. So the good thing is if you are busy, at least you kind of know what you want to do. You want to flip phones and, obviously you just got out of school. So just keep going,
That's the plan.
For sure. I just wanted to say that because I think a lot of people out there, they watch my videos, they watch Tai Lopez videos, Grant Cardone, he doesn't really necessarily preach that it's easy, but he definitely shows off the lifestyle that he's built for himself, which people want that lifestyle. And it's not easy. Even people like Tai Lopez, Grant Cardone, even though they built something really big, I guarantee you in a sense, although they might enjoy what they do, they're probably working 60 to 70 hours a week, just grinding, putting out content, setting up interviews, business deals, whatever. Tomorrow actually is kind of funny. Speaking of being busy, tomorrow's July 22nd, and I'm actually closing on a house. I'm actually getting the loan for the house that I had a land contract on. So totally forgot about that. Didn't even realize till I looked down at my desktop and I seen it's July 21st today. So just sometimes you're just so busy, you know. So it's just the way it goes. But it's better to be busy than to be idle and not be making any money or doing anything, you know.
Yeah, getting a job, it kind of puts a little money in my bank without me having to hustle so hard, so it helps a little bit.
For sure. So that's a question we could probably discuss in group chat. I want to see what everybody's opinion is here. I know there's two Jonathans on tonight, John and Jonathan. And I'm not
So
sure.
call me Jay if it works.
Yes, sir.
My question is, what is everybody's opinion? Because I can definitely give my opinion on it, and it's not just an opinion; it's actually an experience.
The 9 to 5 thing?
No, my opinion on. I want to know everybody's opinion on. Do you think you should phone flip full time, or do you think you should have a full time job and phone flip on the side? Because I've done this before, and I wouldn't mind sharing kind of my results, kind of what happened with it, I guess. And yeah.
I was phone flipping full time in Arkansas, and I was making decent money, but it wasn't until I was about to move here and I was kind of nervous. So
but you were also in school, right?
Yeah, I was also in school.
So you couldn't really do a full time job, phone flip, and be in school.
I mean, you could, but I wouldn't want to do it.
Right, I get you.
I'm pretty lazy. I like to stay home and try to make money as much as possible.
For sure. Makes sense.
But it wasn't until I was moved to Arkansas and I asked somebody what I should do, and they're like, dude, I would definitely recommend getting a job so you have a stable income, because you're still gonna try to be getting on your feet and stuff going there. So
right.
That was definitely the thing I really thought about, because that's helped so far.
For sure. Jonathan, how about you? What are you doing? Are you working, phone flipping, or just doing phone flipping?
Okay. Well, as I told you last week, pretty much last week when I was speaking to you. So before phone flipping, I started with Amazon. So I got that to a point where I just sent in a bunch of stuff to have Amazon sell it for me. So I'll pay them their fees, let that, build up. But they only pay every 3 weeks. So by the time they pay, it's I could have 10 phones offered, but then I don't have the capital. But now, since I used to do penny stock trading.
Yep.
I know how you do the crypto and stuff like that. I've seen a video about that. That's one of the main things that I was focused on. But since the market was starting to slow down, I pretty much pulled out my funds from that. And then now I put it aside for the phone flipping. Full time, I'm doing for finance, pretty much a State Street Bank type of gig, the 9 to 5.
Sure.
And so I try to go in as early as possible so I can leave by 4. So after 4 is usually when I can meet up with people somewhere locally to pick up phones. And then on the weekends, I set up I did the Lyft program. So I do 20 rides a week, but then I have a car to use.
Right.
So I pretty much drive Lyft part-time so I can have a car to use on the weekend.
For sure.
Pretty much all week. So if you do 20 rides, you get a car.
For sure.
So I'm all over the place.
That's awesome. How did you like Lyft? That's one thing. See, it's not that popular around here, unfortunately, in Wisconsin, but that's one thing that I kind of wanted to encourage people to do out there is if you are in a bigger city, honestly, phone flipping and driving for Lyft and Uber it's not a bad thing at all. I mean, you can make a lot of money. Me personally, there was a few different times that I'd fall back on and get a job and then phone flip along with having a job. But, when I did that, I had a really, really, really busy job when I was doing that. And by the end of the year, I had $67,000 saved up. And what I had done is I was just basically using my work income to pay for all the bills. And then any of my phone flipping money, I would just put it in a separate account and I would never touch any of it. So the one thing that job does, in my opinion, is having a job takes away your time, and it kind of okay, so example, after I get done with this group chat, if I'm bored, I could go out to eat or I could go do something, because tomorrow I don't necessarily have to wake up at a certain time. Now, I have a schedule. I like to be up at 6 a.m., but I don't necessarily have to. And what I think a lot of people do when they start phone flipping full time or just starting their own business full time, a lot of them realize that if you use time management, you can get almost all your tasks done, and have a lot of extra free time when you have a business. I mean, if you really put your effort in it and time management, you might have more free time, where when you had a full-time job because you had to be at work 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, and then you had to phone flip and do office work after, you're going to feel like you have a lot more time, even if you're making more money. And I think that the one good thing that having a job and then also phone flipping at the same time does is the job pretty much forces you to not go out to eat with your friends, not go out and get drinks with your friends, not go out and just drive around or waste money, go for a joyride, go for an energy drink to the gas station. That's one thing that I do a lot that's bad is, if I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I got everything listed for the day. Oh, I'm going to go for like a 10-minute drive because I like driving my car. I have a brand new car. I like listening to music. And I'm just going to go get a coffee from the gas station, or I'm going to go get an energy drink. That's what I did earlier today. Rockstar Natural.
I do the Rockstars.
Yeah. These are like my favorite. They're not the best tasting. It's kind of an acquired taste, but they're organic.
Never tried that one.
Good. They're island fruit flavor and they're cane sugar. But the point is, I go out, I spend $2-3 on this, and I also wasted like 20 minutes of my time, because when I get it, sometimes I'll go for a cruise down the highway. Sometimes I'll get lucky. Somebody will message me and say they have a phone, and I end up picking up a phone on the way back, but that doesn't always happen. But the point is, the job kind of almost keeps you isolated. It kind of basically forces you to save that money when you have a regular job and you phone flip. So in my opinion, for anybody out there that has a good full-time paying job, and when I mean good paying, I'm talking if you're not making 16, 18, or 20 bucks an hour, then I wouldn't really hold your job all that high as far as your priority list compared to phone flipping, because you can make a lot more money phone flipping if you're only making like, $8, 10, or 12 bucks an hour. So
true.
But the point is, if you have a good job and you don't mind it and you can use phone flipping along with it, I would keep that job as long as possible until you can save up enough money to scale your phone flipping business, like have enough capital saved up, and to the point where you think that going full-time with phone flipping would also replace your job's income. But it is nice to have that job just for the sake of having that extra guaranteed income as long as you show up. So
Definitely.
The other thing that's good about a job is, for anybody out there that wants to get into real estate investing or rental properties, it's a lot easier for somebody who has a W-2 income, even for somebody who makes less money than somebody who's self-employed. When you have a W-2 income, it's very easy to get qualified for loans. I don't know why, but that's just the way that it is. So,
honestly,
yeah, I'm trying to get a new car in Los Angeles, and they're not really giving me a loan because I don't have a full-time, or I didn't have a full-time job for long yet. So
they won't qualify your income.
Yep.
And see, that's the thing, guys. If you do hold on to that full-time job, if you have the discipline to do that and flip phones and make money, you can use that W-2 income to get, say, a house or a car, but then the cash might come from your phone flipping business, and they're going to be like, wow, this guy's got 20 or 30% down. He's got a great W-2 job. Boom, you'll get your loan, no problem. The catch-22 comes where you don't have a full-time job, you've got full-time phone flipping income, and you've got plenty of cash. You could maybe do 50 or 60% down on a car or a house or whatever it may be, but they won't qualify your income from phone flipping, which is weird because you're making more money than the average W-2 earner, but they just won't qualify it. So that's kind of my advice, is kind of like basically weigh out all options and take your time with it. If you have a good month phone flipping, that's great. I wouldn't quit your job right away. Some people have, and they have great success with it, but hold on to that for a while, even if it means going down to part-time at your job and then going more full-time in phone flipping. But it's always good to kind of keep it there as a backup until you really stabilize with things. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Give me some advice.
What's up?
I got a job here in LA.
Okay.
I live like 30 miles away from my job, and they're only paying me $16 an hour here, which I was getting paid, like, I had a summer internship in Arkansas, getting paid $15 an hour. So I'm getting paid $16 an hour in LA, downtown LA.
That's insane.
Yeah.
If I were to
So-
give you like my professional advice, keep going with the story here. I think I know where this is going, but
On top of that, I have a 45 minutes to an hour commute there and back every single day.
okay.
With college and like school not started yet.
Oh, so you're still going to be going back to school too?
No. I mean like the college and like school rush.
Oh, sure, right. There's going to be a lot more traffic. Okay, I get what you're saying. So when you say 45-minute commute, are you saying one way there?
Yeah, one way there.
45 minutes. Okay.
So I was like, dang, should I keep this job? Like it's honestly easy money. $16 an hour, and I work like 45, 50 hours a week.
Okay.
So that's 50 hours a week.
What kind of car do you drive?
Yeah, and I get like 20 miles to the gallon on my Mercedes.
Okay, so that's not good.
Yeah,
just
so
it's the miles to the gallon.
And I'm trying to get a Tesla because that's an investment. As soon as you pay off your loan in that 6 years or whatever it was, 5 years. As soon as you pay off that, it's like 40 grand. So as soon as you pay that off, it's all electric, so you spend no gas.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Tesla's not a bad investment.
And gas is $3.95 a gallon, so I'm paying $600 at least in gas a month anyway.
Yeah, that's insane in
Wow.
LA.
So you're paying $605 a month for a leased Mercedes.
No. I'm paying $600 in gas just
Oh wow.
only in gas. My car is paid off.
Okay, so the car's paid off. What year Mercedes is it? Is it a V8 or?
It's a V6 2010 ML350.
Okay, so $600 a month in gas. So I mean, if you went to even a car that was like, okay, I don't know so much if the commute. I mean, the commute is not fun. Let me say this: I've always been a really strong advocate of this. If your job's more than 30 minutes away, don't take the job. That's what I've always said. Just because of the fact that it's going to kill you on gas. And obviously, if you've got a car that's only getting you 20 miles per gallon, that's going to make it all worse. So as far as my advice, what are you asking? Are you asking if I think I should quit your job? You should quit your job.
Find some sponsors.
Say that again, John.
Then I don't have that.
So I heard in LA, my girlfriend, she does a lot of what's it called? Like the sponsors, like they pay like $25 to $50 an hour out there.
For what?
Like just to do the regular like let's say Rockstar's holding an event somewhere, or like Hennessy, they pay you like 50 to like I think it's like 25 minimum an hour to do events. Like there's Facebook groups you could be a part of that would tell you about different locations. You go there, you do your 8 or 10 hours, and they pay you, I guess, through PayPal and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
I mean, that's probably way better than doing a $16, $15 an hour, to be honest.
Well, see, this is like it's in logistics, so it's a big market. So they're saying work for us for 3 months, and then we can talk about like trying to pay you more. Because
Okay.
I told them I'll work if you guys would give me 20, and they're like, well, let's do 16 for now, and then work for a couple months, and if we both like each other, we'll talk about giving you a raise. But
Okay.
if that raise is not higher than $20, I'm gonna be like, sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah, definitely.
So how long until you get your raise?
They said at least 3 months, but
Okay.
by 3 months, that's gonna be September, and that's gonna be like by the time school rush starts and stuff.
Okay. So here's what I would do. So you're asking me if you should quit your job, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here's my professional advice. Here's exactly what I would do if I was in the exact same situation as you. So the first thing I would do, keep working your job. Don't quit. That's not the answer. Long term it might be, but not immediately. So what you should do is check out the area, check out every single possible employer that you can think of or find, whether it's looking through the phone book, Google Maps, Googling businesses, whatever. Find a bunch of businesses that are 15 to 20 minutes away from you. You know, maybe like cut your commute time in half, right? Because that alone will earn you $300 a month probably in gas because you're not doing this super long.
Yeah.
And then what you need to do is you need to reach out to them and don't tell them that you're wanting to apply there, okay? because you don't want to sound money hungry to your employer. But what you do is you call there and just say, like, example, this is something that I've done before for girlfriends that I've had. So typically when I get involved in a relationship, I don't know, I seem to find these females that, I don't know, they just don't really seem to have like a career going for them. And it's not such a female thing, but what it is it's the problem in today's society is I don't think a lot of people's parents talk to their children about money. And I mean, I'm still young myself, but like my father, he talked about money all the time with me. And then so did my uncle, where most people that I've met, even guys, but it seems to be more of a girl issue than guy, just because I think guys are more into like money than girls are. But a lot of girls that I've been with, like, you know, they're making like $9-10 an hour, and, you know, we'll get into a relationship or whatever. And I'll ask them like, are you happy making this amount of money? You know, like, do you feel proud of that? And they're like, no, I hate my job. I don't like that I only get paid $10 an hour. And when you start to get paid more, it kind of builds up inside of you. Like if you go from $10 an hour to $16 an hour, whether you're a female or you're a male, you're going to just feel better about yourself because somebody's paying you more. You feel more self-worth. So anyways, the technique or the strategy is you basically call, and let's use Walmart for an example. You call Walmart, you get on the phone, you ask to speak to HR, and you say, hey, you know, I work at another Walmart, blah, 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 blah. I was just wondering, I'm a cashier. What do you guys pay at this store? So you make it basically out to be that you already work there or you already do a similar field of work, and you're just kind of checking around. The reason why you say it like this is because for some reason, sometimes when you call an employer and you just say, hey, you know, I'm looking for a job, how much do you guys pay? They get kind of weird and they just kind of get like turned off at the fact. I don't know if it's like policy or what the issue is, but sometimes they'll just say, we can't tell you that over the phone. Come in and apply. You don't want to waste your time with employers that aren't willing to actually pay you what you're worth. That's a big problem here in Eau Claire, in my area in the Midwest. A lot of employers will advertise on Craigslist here. And if you look at the compensation, it will either say competitive or to be determined. What this actually means is this is a subliminal way of saying that we pay minimum wage or we don't pay very well. And we're not going to put it out there that we don't pay very well because we want to try and get people in. So once they get the interview, they might sign up with us or they might start working for us. So number one, do that. Don't waste your time. Check out these employers. Meantime, keep your job. Don't say anything about quitting to them or anything. You don't want to give them any reason to just be like, yeah, you know, fire this guy because he's going to quit in like a month anyways. But while you've got this job, on your off days, if you do find a job that's, you know, in that 15 to 30 minute radius, John, the best thing to do would be to start applying there. If you find one after doing your phone research and finding one that pays either pays the same as you are now or pays higher. Now, if you find one that pays the same starting as yours now, there's another thing that you can do for, and it's called never be afraid to ask for what you think you deserve. And I'll never forget this. When I had like my very first like W-2 job, I was, I think I was like 16. I was doing entrepreneur stuff when I was like 12 and 13. I was mowing people's grass. I was doing like labor jobs. I had little ads up on Craigslist. It was called Dumb Work. And my slogan was just work that you don't want to do, whether it's, you know, digging holes in the ground to plant fences or to mow your grass, whatever. But the point is of this is I got like my first W-2 job. I had some bad luck, and I had two jobs at the time. I had one job that was paying me $15 an hour at 16, and then I had another job that it was at Wendy's or Hardee's it was. And I remember I wasn't too thrilled about working for Wendy's or Hardee's because they don't pay very much. But when I went into that employer and I had my interview and it came to the question of what do you expect to be paid? I said, you know, I want $8.50 an hour. And they're like, well, we only pay $7.50. I'm like, well, I'm a competent person. I'm intelligent. I'm a fast learner. And I promise you, if you give me my $8.50 an hour, I'll stick around and I'll be a team player. And I really think I can be an asset to your company. That's exactly how I worded it. And believe it or not, I got my $8.50 an hour. Everybody else didn't. I was also asked not to speak about my wage at the employer. So I basically almost sold them on the fact that if you give me this wage and actually make me feel a little bit better about working here, I will stick around. So how this plays into your situation, John, is when you go and apply at these jobs, like maybe you find one, you know, that's 20 minutes closer.
Mhm.
You can find one that's 16 an hour starting. When you're in your interview, maybe ask for 16.50 an hour or ask for 17 an hour. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So try and do that before you quit your job. Now, the other thing is the third scenario is wait out those 3 months. While you're waiting this out, get a list together of places that are closer that will match or, you know, pay you more than your current employer, right? Because if in that 3 months you don't get that $2 or $3 raise that you wanted, that's when you'll know that you probably have to go. Otherwise, you're going to keep spending $600 a month in gas, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. And if you like where you work, you said it's easy money, right? What do you do for work?
It's logistics and basically dispatching trucks.
Okay, so here's what I would do. When it comes time for your interview, I mean, obviously you're probably a smart guy. You just graduated college. You're competent. You're capable. When it comes time to do your interview and your review, tell them, hey, look, you know, I have been busting my ASS for this company. I really enjoy working here. I think I can be an asset to this company, and I need to make $20 an hour here or I cannot work for you guys anymore. I'm not trying to be entitled. I'm not trying to be stuck up, but I drive 45 minutes a day to come here to this company. You know, I've been building your guys' company. I've been giving it my all. I'm an asset here. I'm a team player. And I'm just preaching this. Like, I hope you do all these things that I'm preaching. And, you know, I don't call in sick. I don't miss days like other employees here. I need to make $20 an hour to stay here. If not, I have to take a similar paying job closer to where I live. And at that point, John, if they say yes, then the beauty of that is you've got two options. You stay there because you got the pay you wanted, or two, you stay there and keep making the money that you're making, and now you continue again to look for a job in your area that matches that pay. See what I'm saying?
Because, yeah.
I would never bail out on it just because it's probably like one of your main sources of income or an income that you can count on in case phone flipping gets slow. So just basically play your decisions off of what the company does and just kind of start putting some research together, start checking out local companies around you, do some phone research, kind of try and get those hourly wage numbers out of their mouths over the phone rather than going in there and wasting your time. And you should be able to kind of make a decision off of all that.
Because what I'm trying to do is get that Tesla, and it's $580 a month to get a Tesla with like $4,000 down payment. So if I quit the job or don't have a job at all, I don't have a source of income technically to pay $580 a month and $4,000 down.
Right. You wouldn't.
So don't quit yet.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. If you're trying to get a purchase, don't quit your job because that's not going to look good to a bank or a leasing company if they see that you were employed 4 months here and then 2 months here. They're not going to really like that. So if you're trying to get the Tesla, my advice would be to try and stick it out. Maybe see if you said you own your car outright. Here's what I would do if you really are dead set on that Tesla. Put that Mercedes up on Craigslist and see how much you can sell it for. I don't know. I think you're in the phone or the car flipping group that I have. I know it's kind of been on the back burner just because there's so much content that I have to put together for that, and I've been working on it, but it's just not done yet. Put that thing on Craigslist, private party value. Look on Craigslist, see what other ones are selling for, and sell it for the maximum amount you can. See if you can line up a seller, and at that point that the seller wants, they want to buy it, they've seen it, they've got the cash. At that point, that's when you meet your potential buyer. Probably meet him at the Tesla dealership. See if you can get somebody to pay cash for your Mercedes. Walk into the Tesla dealership, put $5,000 down, lease your Tesla or finance your Tesla, and then keep that $15,000 that you're going to get from the Mercedes, depending on or whatever it's worth, and just put that money away, man.
No, yeah, it's not even like I can barely get $6,000 or $7,000 for it now.
If you can get 8. I mean, even if you can get $8,000, I guess I didn't know how much it was worth. I was just kind of throwing numbers out there. But even if you could get $8,000, if you're spending $600 a month right now in gas, I would sell that Mercedes as fast as you can. See if you can get $7,000 to $8,000 for it. Go put $5,000 down. You'll have $3,000 left over as a cushion. And then yeah, you'll be paying $580 a month for the Tesla, but you're paying zero money in gas, and you've got a brand new car that you're not going to have any maintenance on. Where that Mercedes, if it's older, which I'm assuming, I think you said earlier it was like a 2010.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
The Mercedes is going to need maintenance. Mercedes are not cheap cars to maintain. So when it happens, it's not going to be a fun maintenance bill. So I think it's best to keep working your job, try and get out of that Mercedes, go get that Tesla lease, kind of eliminate any kind of problems that are going to happen, and then get into that, and then just basically try and, basically reduce your expenses, keep working, and then just look for better opportunity.
Yeah, because I'm already spending $600 in gas, so $580 a month already pays for it.
Exactly. $580 a month and no maintenance, no oil, I'm pretty sure Teslas don't even need oil changes or anything. So
Nope.
Exactly. So
Crazy.
look at it all like that, so it's a good thing. But does that kind of help out, John?
Yes. Thank you.
For sure. I want to see pictures of that Tesla when you get it. I like Tesla.
Good. Me too. I test drove it and that thing is insane.
Teslas are pretty awesome for the bang for the buck. But we're coming up on 8 o'clock, guys. We went super long, which is totally fine. Group chats are usually only 30 minutes, but that was a good talk. That's good life stuff. We don't always have to talk about phone flipping here. Any questions are welcome, life, business advice, whatever. When I was younger, I made plenty of mistakes with cars, and that's probably why I know what I know now. Luckily, I also did have a father that owned an auto body shop that gave me quite a bit of guidance on buying cars, etc. Ones that'll make you money, ones that'll cost you money. So, but that being said, thanks for coming out and everything, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your Sunday night and an awesome week. And I will see everybody next week, Sunday at 7 p.m. for the next group chat. So,
Thanks, Luke.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
See you guys.
Have a good one.